Hello, I hope you're doing well, unless you're like me, overworked and tired. I'm gonna show you 3 recipes that literally take 15 minutes to make. These are so easy and I make a couple of these probably every week. Here we go. Okay, rotisserie chicken. I'm gonna use part of this to cook for myself. You actually could use all of this and make a big pot of what I'm about to make, but I'm just gonna show you a single serving. And because I don't have any rice cooked in my rice cooker, I'm gonna opt for microwavable rice. This is great for those of you, like I said, you're lazy and you have this as a convenience. And this just comes off easily because it's so tender. So I'm just gonna use a leg. Okay, I'm gonna add like a cup and a half of water. And I'm gonna be using a little bit of ginger paste, garlic paste. You can use fresh garlic, some chicken bouillon powder, and white pepper. Turn that on. Here we go. Let's go a little bit of ginger paste, garlic paste, chicken bouillon powder, white pepper. You could just use whatever you have and just start breaking that apart. And you'll want to boil this. Also, let's add the whites of 1 scallion. I'm going to use a whisk to start breaking up the rice. So what I'm making is a rice porridge. My husband calls this juk, which is Korean for rice porridge, but I feel like the flavor profile is closer to CONGEE. It smells so good. Okay, I'm gonna add the chicken leg, and you'll want to taste it for seasoning and salt. I'm gonna lower the heat so it doesn't burn. I'm gonna put the lid on and just let it gently simmer. Make sure it's on the lowest setting. Gently simmer for like 5 minutes and it's done. So I like to garnish with some toasted crushed sesame seeds. I'm opting for my black sesame seeds. Turn that off. I'm gonna garnish with the green scallion. All over. I like to add a little bit of sesame oil. I'm going to add some soy sauce as a garnish. And if you don't have rotisserie chicken, make this with an egg in the center. Add 1 or 2 eggs, soft boiled, so good. And this is a delicious bite of a rice porridge that came together in less than 15 minutes. So good. Let me show you an easy dinner that comes together in 15 minutes. You can serve this shrimp over pasta, rice, or potatoes. I'm making tacos. Okay, to get started, I'm working with 2 pounds of large shrimp that has been peeled, cleaned, and deveined. I gave it a good rinse, and I'm just kind of letting it dry out here. I'm also going to be using half a green bell pepper, red bell pepper, and half of this red onion. I'm going to season with Montreal chicken seasoning, lemon pepper seasoning, onion powder, granulated garlic powder, some smoked paprika, and some Maggi seasoning sauce. If you don't have this, you could add some soy sauce into the mix. So I'm going to start seasoning the shrimp. Like I said, it's thawed, cleaned, 2 pounds of large shrimp. And I'm kind of just going to eyeball the seasonings. You could easily make this like Cajun style with some Cajun seasoning. You can season however you like. This is just what I'm working with today. I want it to kind of come together quick and easy, as I always do. And like I said earlier, this is great if you want to serve it with rice and veggies, mashed potatoes, over a baked potato. It all works, but today I'm making tacos. I love a good easy shrimp taco or a taco anything. And I'm probably going to do this sort of like a crispy quesadilla style, but you definitely can use soft flour tortillas with this and add toppings and garnishes. It all works. Okay, so after seasoning this, I'm just gonna make sure that I coat and combine well. And I will probably just kind of give you a list of what I used, but there's really not much to this recipe. It really is simple and to your preference. Okay, I'm going to preheat my cast iron skillet. This is the largest one I have. And once it's preheated, you can kind of see it smoky, and I want that because I really want the temperature of the pan to sort of keep a consistent heat. I don't want it to drop once I add ingredients. So cooking oil, now I'm adding the onions, bell peppers together. And I'm just going to give that a head start and saute quickly. By the way, you could make this even easier. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees and do a sheet pan meal. That comes together really quick as well because shrimp does not take long to cook. I would say at a high heat, it'll be done in minutes. Okay, crank that up to high, and now I'm going to add all of my shrimp. I want the shrimp to sort of cook on one side of the pan. Hopefully it's the hottest part of the pan. I want to give it a head start before I start mixing all of the bell peppers and onions into the mix. Sometimes I even add mushrooms, and then I'll add some garlic into the mix, but like I said, quick and easy is what I went with today. Here you can see that it's starting to cook, so I'm going to start mixing it and moving it around into the pan. But like I said, it doesn't even take 5 minutes over a high heat when you're working with well-thawed and cleaned shrimp. Now, if this shrimp was partially frozen, yeah, it'd probably take a lot longer and it wouldn't cook as evenly. And no bell pepper left behind. Okay, so this is probably going to be done like in less than a minute. Once these last pieces of shrimp cook, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter right into the pan to finish. Honestly, the shrimp is done, so what I'm going to do is turn off the stove here or the burner and let the residual heat of this cast iron skillet melt the butter, and this is done. You can taste it for seasoning, salt, pepper, add what you like. You could possibly add a squeeze of lemon juice into the mix. I'm going to garnish with fresh parsley, and this is it. This is a meal. Serve it with whatever it is you like. So quick and easy. Here's what I'm doing. I am going to soften these tortillas. These are corn in some hot oil on a griddle. And I'm kind of clumsy with it. I know a lot of you are saying, just get a stand and have, 2 hands readily available. Well, when I'm trying to film and cook and get dinner on the table, this is just what I do. Okay, so I have some shredded mozzarella cheese going on. And quite frankly, making these quick tacos, aka quesadillas, you could use this with any protein, whether it's chicken or beef. It all works, and it's so good. And it comes together, like I said, quick and easy. Okay, so I'm just going to spoon on some shrimp. I'm going to add more cheese on top. This helps when you fold it over. It kind of keeps the taco together, kind of keeps the shrimp in place. And there you go. I'm going to cook this crispy on both sides. And I'm absolutely making a mess. That's okay. Once the cheese toasts on the griddle, it'll all come up easily. Okay, these are ready, and I am going to dig in. Let me show you some of the easiest enchiladas I make. They are so good. Today I'm working with queso fresco. I have, it's probably about 6 ounces or so, 10-ounce wheel of queso fresco, and some onion definitely works. I'm also going to be using store-bought salsa verde. So I'm going to go ahead and crumble the cheese and put the filling together, and I'm going to prep my corn tortillas. I have a pan over a low heat. I'm adding cooking oil, and I'm going to pass my corn tortillas through the hot oil to make them soft and pliable and easy to roll, and they won't break when you go to roll the enchilada. So I want to give a little backstory to this. So when I was in my 20s, 20 plus years ago, I was single, working full time, taking night classes in college, doing the best I could, and this was a budget-friendly meal at the time. I remember the salsa was like two cans for $1. The cheese was about $1.99 on a good day. A pack of corn tortillas, that was around 79 cents. And, you know, with those three ingredients, I had very simple enchiladas that would last me for days if I rationed it just right. So I know groceries and prices of groceries are a lot different than they were 20 years ago. So, you know, it used to cost me less than $5 to buy these ingredients to last for several days during the week. Now, maybe around 10 bucks. $8 to $10. I'm just going to start putting them in the same pan, and I'm going to start filling them with that crumbled queso fresco and onion filling. The onion is optional, but I love cheese and onion enchiladas. So simple and so good. And I'm just going to fill this up, roll it out, do that for all three. Now I'm going to add a little bit of my green salsa, or the salsa verde, right on top. And I even rationed those 2 cans. I'm telling you, I really portioned things out so that this would get me through the work week. Sometimes I had to budget probably like $15 for a 2-week grocery run. So the salsa is already sizzling, and you plate it up. And then I would add just a small sprinkle of queso fresco on top. And these were those budget, delicious, wonderful green enchiladas that I would make weekly to get me through some hard times. So if you have extra ingredients to garnish, add some fresh lettuce, more cheese. I like to add a little bit of cilantro or parsley, and crema or sour cream. It's so good. And these are some of my top 3 lazy meals that are so good.